Hello YouTube, this is Darkon633, and today I'm bringing a review of the Transformers Generations Voyager class Hook. Now, Hook is part 5 of my Transformers Devastation weekend. I have to admit, it is kind of bizarre. Just like the G1 toy, except not as extreme. Pretty much the only way he's standing is because of the back piece here. But as you can see, he does kind of have a little bit more stability than the G1 design, since he can kind of stand it without it. Just playing around with articulation. But this is pretty much there to help support it, and it's understandable why they had to do that. But overall, I think Hook is pretty good, and especially since this toy cannot break when you transform the legs, and that's one of the strongest parts of the toy. That's a main problem that was featured on the G1 toy, where a lot of people's hooks had very tight joints, and because of how the pin was and all that, just snapped right there, and that was pretty much it for Hook. So it is good that we finally have a Hook that doesn't have the issues. Now, I forgot to actually pull out the hands. Just going to quickly show here. Articulation, his head is on that double swivel, as usual. He does have full shoulders, but this gets in the way a bit. Does have the double bend slightly, but it's in the opposite direction due to transformation. He doesn't have any elbows, which, if I remember correctly, Takara did remedy, but it does swivel, and you can kind of pivot the hand, as you can see earlier. Doesn't have any waist articulation, but his legs are fully articulated all around. Can swivel only about that far due to the way the design is. Can bend at the knee, and it does pivot back and forth, but as you can see there, be wary that the things do pop off. But anyways, we now go into the transformation, which is kind of strange since he's mostly a shell kind of transformation. Basically, you unpeg the legs, and then you're going to pull this inward so that the silver pieces go inside, and you're going to take this and lay it flat. So now you got the back of the vehicle done. We're just going to plug it in. It's actually the front of the vehicle when you look at it. This pulls up, and you can kind of just turn this around so that it's not exposed, but unfortunately there isn't a way to hide the heads like the others. You're going to push these in, push away the hands, and then these are going to peg into a little empty area there on both sides. Snap into place, turn around, and that's pretty much it for Hook. As you can see, it turns into this truck crane design, or crane truck, whatever way you want to put it. And unfortunately, this is where the toy gets hit the worst. As you can see, most of the other type of cranes, and even the G1 toy, the back of the crane can swivel. But unfortunately, the way that this is designed, it can only stay in one place and it's static. Another problem is that this piece, the hook, cannot turn a bit, and it cannot extend outwards. So it's unfortunate that due to, I'm pretty sure that is budget reasons, they weren't able to add in the extra flavor with those parts being presentable. So it's unfortunate it ends up being like that, but it is what it is. The wheels do turn okay, and once again it does suffer a bit from the alignment issues if you're not careful, so it doesn't roll all the way. So that's unfortunate. And what I mean by shell is that even inside, as you can see here by the way it is, it's just like an empty shell that forms around it like some of the other Combiner Wars released in the Deluxe line. So this toy is kind of also a hit and miss, just not as bad as what Mixmaster was. Anyways, we'll now do the transformation back into roll mode. You're going to pull these panels down, unpeg these together to make it easier. You're going to pull it so that the silver pieces are exposed again. You're going to peg these pieces inside there. Just kind of sit in an empty groove there for the bottom of the legs. Just going to plug these in. Trying to get this into the camera. There we go. Sits in there. So now we got the legs. We're going to unpeg the arms, reveal the fists, turn the head, and push this panel down, and there we have Hook back in his robot mode. Now, Hook is still a very nice design, and I'm really appreciate that we finally got an official Hook that doesn't suffer from the problems with the legs. If I remember correctly, it wasn't really that much of an issue with the Generation 2 release, but in terms of the G1 release, yeah, unfortunately the G1 hook did have that problem. And it's nice that it does retain most of the transformation to Devastator, similar to how it was in the G1 toy, and yet this piece doesn't break. So it's good that they've made a new version that is sturdy enough to handle the transformations and the combinations. But overall, I think Hook is a very nice design out of the G1 Constructicons in the set, and we'll be now moving to the final release before Devastator. Anyways, please kindly subscribe, and check me out on Hirotaku for the latest in hero news. Also, check out the WW podcast, which is listed down below. Also, check out my other friends' channels and the other panel channels down below. Also, check me out on Twitter under Darkon633, and I'll see you YouTube.